welcome to the Raw Review. We are the Dadley Boyz of What Culture. I'm Adam Wilborn, joined by Michael Hamflett and Michael Sidgwick, here to review everything that happened on last night's episode of Raw. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to What Culture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review Raw, but also Friday Night SmackDown, the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a roundup of the week, complete with a bloody good quiz, of course, on WrestleCulture. As I said, though, joined by Hamflett and Sidgwick to review last night's Raw. I think we've got a quite nice cross-section today in terms of opinions on Raw.
Deeply concerning, this one for me. That's the second, solid 7 Fed show in a row. What is going wrong at Titan? What is going wrong at Titan?
I really enjoyed this show.
This was just fine. And pardon me for expecting better at this point. I don't know.
Oh, he's sad.
Yeah, no, but just fine. I wanted to be electrified like I normally am of a Tuesday morning.
Electrified. Can't keep doing this.
Wasn't there. Just not great.
An incredibly bland show. Just like, ugh, what the hell am I watching this for? All right. Unfortunately, it's my job. Unfortunately, it's my dream job.
Yeah, I had a great time with this show.
Impossible.
And you mean it because that's
it doesn't mean anything.
No, but that
most disingenuous man I've ever met in my life.
we know the World War rule is like the last 5 seconds or so. It's like best show ever.
Yeah.
But this one had that ridiculous another Gunther hard out where it's like, and we ran out of teams, beat him, and thank God because the barcode's on the screen and we've not had a finish yet. So it can't be that.
Jay, tap quickly.
Yeah. So it can't be that. So I trust your judgment on this.
I just Braun Breaker's the best. Put all the belts on him, in my opinion. I love that squash.
Yeah, but probably made up of 0.9% of the show.
Yeah, but there was so many other little breadcrumbs.
Oh, shut the
scattered throughout this show. Well, let's get into it and we'll just dissect the whole thing.
1,000.9 miles an hour.
Normally, I just sort of skip past the bit at the beginning of the show where they're like, welcome to Raw, and here's so-and-so's in a big match tonight, and here's so-and-so arriving who's in a big match tonight. But we see Iyo Sky arriving, and Lyra Valkyria, and Gunther, and Jey Uso. But I don't want to talk about any of them. I want to talk about what's going on in the background of these shots, because was it Finn first?
Yeah.
Finn Balor jumps out of a car in the background, and then pretty much immediately after that, when we see, I think, Jey arriving, guess who jumps out of that car as well? Liv Morgan. What's going on there then?
That is a thickening plot, if you ask me, between... We thought it was Liv and Dom, and maybe it still is, but Dominic wasn't here this week. There's reports about his injury maybe taking longer to heal from and all that sort of stuff. But so she's just weaving away into the Judgment Day bracket.
Dom was here, wasn't he?
But it was thought that he was going to be back to work, and it looks like he's going to be injured longer than they thought.
I thought he was in a backstage segment.
Was he there? I thought he was missing.
Yeah, he was there.
Oh,
he was there.
That's good. I just didn't see him. But I thought he was going to be gone longer, but
he wasn't.
It's now.
He was there.
So he's there. But it was Finn instead of Dom. This is the point. And we just thought...
who else was in the car? That's the only snippet that we saw.
Finn's just watching.
maybe Dom's trying to get out, but they've left the child lock on.
He's got...
Finn, I can't get out.
Do you think he's got a child seat?
You've got a booster.
Yeah.
Definitely. Anyway, to open the show, Sami Zayn comes out to a great reaction, and he says he was asked earlier why he chose to be in a triple threat. He's got 2 very different issues and wants to deal with both of them at the same time.
Do it separately.
He says what's going on between him and Gable is personal. You don't German suplex a man out of his wife's arms in his hometown in front of his 78-year-old father.
That's what I always said that.
Always said that. It's a very common saying.
That's the phrase, yeah. So Gable's got an
You do not German suplex.
Gable's got an ass kicking coming his way. The issue with Bronson Reed isn't personal. Reed doesn't care about anything but the title. This is a fight of mind, body, and soul. Gable represents the mind because he's manipulative and he's crafty. Reed's strength and brute force represents the body, and Sami Zayn, of course, is the soul. And he says if he's putting money on that triple threat, he bets on soul every single time. It's that soul and that passion why he's holding the title right now. He beat the longest reigning champion because of it, and that's why he's going to walk out of King of the Ring, still the Intercontinental Champion. But out comes Shaq.
No, in comes me for the analysis.
Okay.
Start every point with that from now on.
Yeah. Sami Zayn doing this spiel, right, is absolutely not what a person would say, ever. It sounds like they're kicking around ideas in the writer's room for how to sell this match. What about body, mind, and soul? Because if you think about it, one's one, one's the other, and the other one's the other. That would just get laughed. That's a rubbish way. That's a bad tagline. Don't come back, you're fired.
Yeah.
But it's the baby face who I meant to like saying this waffle. Not good.
It's Cody material and there's no Cody. He's the wrestler that gets stuff over. There's context in which this sort of thing works, but you don't make the rules. Like, it's about the star delivering it. It's about the story that they're talking about. And there are certain wrestlers that can deliver this type of material with conviction. Sami Zayn is often one if the story matches it, but it doesn't. He's selling a three-way, like, right as he's about to have the most entertaining part of that three-way as a match. So this was unwinnable for him, really.
All kinds of odd.
Bad material.
Bad.
Couldn't care about that because Chad Gable came out in a fighter's robe next. He's flanked by the Alpha Academy.
He's a bit mid-carded, he.
Who? Chad Gable?
He's a bit mid-card coded with his delivery and his dress sense, and
I think this is going off the rails a bit. This
Chad
Gable. I'm a bit worried about this Chad Gable.
Oh no, I'm well into it. I want to see him win the title ASAP for me.
Need that Creed thing next Monday, right now.
If only they teased it on that. Oh, they did. Gable questions being called manipulative.
From me.
Yeah. He said, look, I coached you, Sami, into winning that title, and I really figured out that was the problem. I'm too damn nice. I'm too nice to you. Been way too nice to these three clowns behind me.
Now I get why Wilborn likes it.
Take Maxxine. She should be in the finals this time. That's a bit. She wasn't even in the tournament initially. She just looked into a place because of injury. But she blew her opportunity. Failure, he says. Tozawa did 0% of the damage he asked for against Bronson Reed. Failure. And Otis, well, he proved last week why he's the biggest disappointment on the planet. Aww. Sami says, that's enough. We've heard enough. Well, actually, no, I do actually have a question for the Academy. How much longer are you going to deal with this crap from Chad Gable? And Gable says, shut up. You don't speak to them. I do. He's sick and tired of listening to Sami talk about his heart and soul. It's pathetic. In Saudi, I don't have to pin you to win the title, but I'm going to. And Zayn says, well, that match is in 5 days. Come on, let's have a bare knuckle fight then. And get in the ring for the forthcoming match.
Yeah, this is my least favourite genre of wrestling segment, where you do a promo exchange, setting up the match you set up last week already. I'm watching this for then.
Yeah, not the most economical.
At least it wasn't impromptu, I suppose.
Stop looking at the bright side. Join me in my misery.
This story got better later.
Oh,
I didn't like any of this, but I liked it more later.
It got better immediately because it was Chad Gable versus Sami Zayn.
By later you mean right now?
Yeah. Well, technically that is later. Zayn clotheslines Gable out of the ring. Tozawa and Otis help him up, and he shoves them away. We come back, and Gable's wanting the Alpha Academy. Maxxine and Tozawa specifically to interfere.
He is the winner.
You know, like that point you've made every night, you'll be getting like really frustrated at what you know you've watched a bad match, but like Wilborn's recaps are so fantastic, like professional broadcast.
Oh, he's excellent.
That like you're thinking, how on earth is he doing this? He did that for that friggin' 2-minute Jade Cargill Nia Jax thing. Like I reckon we went at least 5 minutes, so over double, and then she rolls her back in the ring, and it's like she rolled her in, she rolled her out, she shouted at her kid, and she got DQ'd. That was the whole friggin' match, and then she was back in with it. She grabbed her hair, and she was back into the floor once again. Wow. He's delaying for traffic and travel.
Yeah.
Basically a turd polisher.
Yeah. That's a fair assessment.
Not so you're saying it's crap?
No, not that, but it's a fair assessment. I think I could pull that off, but I'm not saying this is, obviously.
Right, okay.
Got that in my wheelhouse. So he wants Dupri and Tozawa to interfere, but they...
No, good Lord.
Definitely not. He wants them to interfere, but they can't bring themselves to, so he does the reverie. Get yourself out of here. Zayn uses that distraction to hit a blue thunder bomb for a near fall.
Can I just say, because this match was a crushing disappointment to me, the execution on the blue thunder was genuinely class.
Gable rolls out of the ring, and they go to another break. When they come back, Gable's nailing some German suplexes, but Zayn reverses into a Michinoku driver for 2. Goes for the Hoover kick. That gets reversed into an ankle lock, though. Zayn makes the ropes, goes outside. Otis also won't get involved, so Gable slaps him in the face. Grabs the title belt, tries to use it as a weapon. Zayn ducks, though, hits an exploder into the corner. And whilst the referee's busying himself checking on Gable and getting rid of the belt and what have you, Zayn's in the corner getting ready for her Hoover kick. And suddenly, Otis attacks Sami Zayn in the corner. and that allows Gable to hit Zayn with a Chaos Theory suplex for the 1, 2, 3. I also like the fact that Gable, in celebration, posed right in front of Otis. It's all about me, and the crowd chant, "You suck," as they did throughout the match. The angle comparisons continue.
It's the latest one for Chad, and that's no bad thing ultimately. This was heatless, and it made me sad watching it because it shouldn't be, and so much of this Chad Gable thing has felt like, right, the Alpha Academy thing is going to be cleaned up when he replaces him with the Creeds, and then he'll beat Sami Zayn, and it'll be an epic on a par with their other matches and whatever.
Hopefully in Scotland.
Well, yeah, but then why book this and why set it up with such a weak promo like that? I think it actively sort of damaged the crowd's investment in the match because it all felt it felt TV, it felt match to build a match, but it's the wrong way around. I thought the triple threat at the pay-per-view was there to build this singles match, and you were using Bronson Reed as a delaying tactic. So they got what they deserved. Honestly, the booking got what it deserved here. This was just a fine match that would have been better with a hotter crowd, but nowhere near what we know these two can do. Poor placement, poor matchmaking, a letdown in multiple ways.
You can go back and listen to me praise effusively this Intercontinental title picture. It's all gone downhill.
You keep doing this, Sidge. The feeling coming back in AEW. The Intercontinental title picture.
This is why I'm a miserable prick, man. You don't let it play out, ever.
Yeah, always let it play out.
You're a fool if you do that.
You kill it while it's hot.
I think Cody Rhodes would necessarily agree with that one, but okay.
Right. This was an angle and a poorly acted one at that, masquerading as a match when the match could be, has been, and hopefully one day will again be electrifying. Tell you what, I feel sorry for her because she shouldn't be on national television. Maxxine Dupri's acting in particular when she was agonizing over whether to cheat was absolutely dismal.
Had 3 moves and just had to keep repeating them.
Yeah.
She's
just poor.
Yeah.
Not very good at performing.
I like the story of this. I can see where they're going.
I liked it later.
That's what I love about story.
Anticipation is half the story.
Oh, this is true. You have got me there for once.
It's actually more than half. If we're doing maths, it's way more than half.
They've had a great match in the past. They are going to have a great match in the future.
Yeah, slop him in the middle.
No, they're using this to further the story of the Alpha Academy.
I know what a story is.
And the members of that not being able to fully subscribe to it. And he's going to go, well, at least Otis does that. And then Otis may or may not be the reason or his justification for not winning the triple threat. Get him out of there. Bring the Creed brothers in.
Oh my God.
And then finally defeat Sami Zayn.
Yep.
When you watch any other medium, any other television show, any other television program or film, do you go, I can't wait for this bit that I know is coming. Let's get this bit over with. I can't wait to get it over with.
All the time. If you're being shown things, yeah. It's, oh God, that bit's going to be class when that happens.
I get it, but that's for a triumph. Not... I don't know, it's just crap, man. I've ruined everything.
It was better later.
Bring back Dwayne and Bryan.
Ugh.
WrestleMania season was pretty good.
I like them in WrestleMania season. I don't want them in the summer slump. They're not welcome.
There's an Iyo Sky video package.
Summer slump.
That's right.
That sounds like one of those pathetic. You know when they go tiny con.
Yeah.
Those terrible AEW nicknames and phrases. Really looking for Jey Uso and Roman Reigns had a really bad tribal combat match at Summer Slump.
Don't need another Borman Lames main event at Summer Slump.
Iyo Sky video package hyping up the match with Valkyria later, but this time Iyo Sky's underwater.
Like King of the Ming. He loves it. He absolutely loves it.
Bit of a mystery came next, though. Jackie Redmond tries to
Survivor Wearies.
Tries to interview Chad Gable.
Wrestle Lamy. Oh no, that's me.
before she can find out how he's feeling and all that. There's a bit of a commotion. She runs around and Cruz del Toro has been mysteriously attacked, but who attacked him?
Carlito.
Oh yeah, we do find that.
Or Ridge Holland.
Or Indy Hartwell.
This stinks.
You're having an existential crisis.
It's only 1 7 out of 10 roll. I'll be fine next week. But this
Without Cody.
LWO Judgment Day story stinks, man. It's rubbish.
Without Cody. Punk and Drew's further away than you think. Jey Uso's eating another loss. Where are the stars? Where's the form? Where's the quality?
They'll be back. They'll be back on Saturday.
We'll see. I think it's all over.
It's all over. Shut it down. Out of the way, Paul.
Talking about stars, Bron Breakker was next.
Oh my God.
I love this man so much. So he's facing Kale Dixon.
Like there's different boots. I love that. Right, I'm on TV.
Yeah.
Could be my big break. How do I stand out? Okay, I've got it. I got 2 different pairs of boots. I can go, that boot with this boot? Star.
Never saw it come.
He was formerly on The Bachelorette, apparently, according to commentary. But Bron Breakker doesn't care for that because the bell rings and he's stood in the corner, not facing his, a bit like Hook, not facing his opponent. And he's there going, are you joking me? I'm not in King of the Ring and now I've got to beat this loser in my Raw debut? Yes?
Well,
He had Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, I was going to say, as a
proper,
new Raw superstar.
Soft launched him about 300 times.
Sure have.
Well, from soft to rock hard because he turns around and spears out of his goddamn shoes.
Oh my God.
It was a great spear.
It really
For the
was.
best spear in wrestling.
Yeah. He throws him out of the ring and runs around it to kill him with another spear on the outside.
When he sort of trying to negotiate the steps and like skidded a bit, he looked like a kid running around at a wedding, overexcited with all that dance floor at like 6 o'clock at night when the night you just get going. He's like, please don't fall over, Bron, but please keep going that way. Like, take the chance of maybe falling over, how fast it is.
23 miles an hour or something he hits in the ring?
God.
Bonkers. He, anyway, throws him back in. The referee's like, I think he's had enough. I'm just going to call for the bell at this point. And he tries to raise Bron, touch me. And he's helping this poor bastard to his feet. And suddenly you see Bron bouncing off the ropes. And the guy's like, what's going on? Where are you? Oh, another spear for you, dickhead. Drops him. Just kicks this worthless piece of crap to the outside. Picks up the steps. He's going to kill him with the steps. And the referees and the officials are like, come on, Bron, leave it. I think he's had more than enough. And he's like, all right, puts the steps down. And poor Kale Dixon's like, a place to rest my weary head. And Bron says, surprise, motherfucker. And Kane's at him with a chair. This was class.
You're like a proud father watching one of your NXT 2.0 guys make it on the main roster. The actual in-ring stuff here, no notes really. You got the best spear in wrestling. Hamlet made a very salient point yesterday on the preview podcast. Bidding war. You've completely forgotten about that. How much you wanted him. I don't really want you that much. Never fancied you anyway. Actually. And now that you've won. You've signed Bron Breakker. You drafted Bron Breakker. Remember how excited you were about these drafts? Yeah! Oh, come on, sorry. Hey. And it's like, I've got him, we got him. Not today, pal. Yeah. So it makes no sense whatsoever. Push him. You love him. You wanted to sign him before he went to SmackDown.
Yeah.
But guess what? Oh, my God. You got your second bite of the cherry. You got your second chance. Even life gets second chances. I was told there's no second chances in this game, but there is. Oh, my God. Finally, we got him. I don't push him. So it's all this like really contrived. It's a really stupid story that betrays the continuity they've established in what Adam Pearce wants as a character, just to then inform Bron Breakker's arc of, you know, like a guy who's just mad as hell and he ain't going to take it no more, actually. And it's good in the ring. Then we see him act later, not so good, Al.
I loved all of this. The stair stuff is so dumb. We've, of course, seen a version of this with our much missed Von Wagner. This was slightly less violent because that one was like, oh, he's flattened him. You're expecting to see like a pancake flathead the following week. But I like that quick cut. I loved watching it. But this was excessive. It probably would have just been better if it had just been wrestling-based attack rather than, oh, while I'm out here, I might as well do this anyway. But him on the warpath. Wrestling has this thing where it's very rare. Did the Blackpool Combat Club ever do this? I think we put them over for this before. Where like sometimes you can imagine a locker room sort of being on notice and it being a little bit of a frightening place because of our wrestler.
Yes, it's when they first started to turn heel and Moxley was just indiscriminately killing people backstage. And for a while it felt like, all right, okay, you've picked the lane, a good lane.
Aye.
Good lane.
Based on what we'd see shortly afterwards and this segment, the locker room with Bron Breakker in it is a scary one.
Yeah.
Like genuine peril on behalf of the people who he's in the ring with, which is half the battle. Usually I feel nothing.
The Fed locker room, how you remember it. Really?
From mid-2000s and SmackDown. I used to be a country, goddammit. These little boys pissing their pants every week.
Eddie, Bob, Bradshaw, get my gavel.
Kurt as well, don't forget.
Don't forget.
Kurt. You don't with that guy. With that guy, and I'll steal your passport and make you think you're stranded in a strange and foreign land.
I didn't think he had much about him when he did that fake.
I banish thee to France.
He just got fake-ass Olympic He came and got in the ring with a dead man, the best pure striker in the history of business. Hey, Kurt, how's your guard against these soup bones?
It's kind of like boxing when you're in there with Tate.
I got a gold medal, too, in kicking ass.
So this poor bloke gets stretched out, put in an ambulance. Kiana James is there.
Ooh,
Let's
a
see.
gold medal. Ooh, la, la. Look at the size of this belt, kid. It's bigger than yours. It's got a tiny little circle.
I know a thing or two about fighting off international threat from America. Yoko. Ever heard of him? Respect the business. Respect the business.
Respect the history of the business.
Bones Olympic sport, Kurt. I'm pretty good at that, too.
Yokozuna was scared of two things. Caskets in America.
And then, as it turns out, spiders. Me and Yoko, we didn't agree on much, but we both didn't like those cucumbers. That's right, isn't it? Undertaker was scared of cucumbers?
Yeah, of course he was.
Brilliant, that.
Because he ate an entire, I don't know, bowl of them when he was a kid.
Like win a bet.
No, when he was a kid. I think came in, he was just a bit peckish, and his mum was like, had him in, they're trying to pickle them or whatever, I don't know.
Oh, I didn't like the pickle.
And then he got sick, and then I think he just had flashbacks there. So like Paul Bearer was like shoving him in his gloves and putting him in his hat, going, there's a glass man of this. Yeah.
I enjoy that Rick and Morty, but one of those episodes like a horror movie don't take. You won't believe what it turns himself into. I had to switch it off. Shell, let's put Jaws back on. I kicked Jaws' ass.
I can kick his ass.
So Kiana James.
After that, cops. Bad cops. What you gonna do? Absolutely nothing when they come for you. Yeah, like cops.
Hey, Michelle, which one of the Sons of Anarchy do I look like? Correct, all of them.
Bad cops. What you gonna do? Watching him singing the theme tune when he's in the house. Bad cops. What you gonna do? Absolutely nothing, dude.
The thing at the end where it's like so-and-so with some...
The cops win again.
I'd sure take his ass to wrestler's court. he was sentenced to 6 months prison and a crate of beer for the boys. Watching cops.
He loves it, man.
He does, man. Where can I buy those shirts?
So, yeah, this poor bastard's getting loaded into an ambulance. Kiana James makes a little appearance there. Great to see her.
What you doing, Mr. Missed this?
She pops up next to Adam Pearce, is like, oh, if you need any help with anything. And it's one of Adam Pearce's favourite roles on Raw is to, like, have a token female wrestler that can go, no, get out of the way. Like, he loves that bit. I don't know why they persist with it.
Because it's a misogynistic organisation.
Probably it, you know.
Or breadcrumbs for a legal case from someone who gets injured on the job against Bron Breakker.
Oh, that's probably where that's going, yeah.
She's a businesswoman.
Yeah, but she's not. There's a difference. She can't be anything, realistically. She's good at business, maybe she's good at law.
Yep.
Pierce goes up to Bron and says, what the hell are you thinking? And Bron says, you can't control me. This is because you didn't put me in King of the Ring, basically.
Yeah.
It's kind of basically Alex Riley in 2015.
Say it to his face, though.
Not anymore. Carry on.
There's a video package for Sky Valkyria, and Lyra's getting ready to go out, and Becky Lynch approached her and said, you know, I know how great you are. Go out there and show everyone why the hard work was worth it.
What I love about this, is this on purpose, right? Because if it's on purpose, it's kind of, it works. Between their interactions on Raw, you might not have seen this, listeners, viewers, because why would you watch NXT? But they first established this relationship in NXT with the idea of Lyra Valkyria is like idolizes Becky Lynch and was, you know, in real life, not really, but in storylines, you know, she watched from afar as her hero dominated WWE and she wanted to be like her and all the rest of it. There's a moment in NXT when Lyra Valkyria like kind of goes, am I doing well? How am I doing, boss? Becky Lynch is like that. It's like, basically, it never looks like Becky Lynch can be asked to mentor her. You know what I mean? Whenever they interact on Raw, it's always like, yeah, you did a great job. You did a really good job. See you later. She never stands next to her for longer than a second. She's always, good job, walking away. Is this just because WWE can't really, to this day, script proper human interaction? Or is it a breadcrumb of Becky Lynch can't be asked and thinks, you know what, I don't want to mentor you. That would signify that I'm on the way out. I'm not. I'm still the man and we're going to have a feud one day. They're going to have a feud eventually.
Yeah, but it plays into the existing story. That is exactly what Liv Morgan, through a different thing, is accusing her of, basically. So it could be that. She's always like, yep, see you later, draw. It's like, it's, you know, when you get stuck with somebody you don't want to speak to. Yeah.
Like, just on the way away. See you later.
The dreaded walk to the metro.
Yeah. Maybe.
Well, Lyra Valkyria
I like it even more. Thanks, Sidge.
was in action against Iyo Sky. Again, got to break very early on in the match. Sky's dominating.
Women everywhere. It's getting absolutely eaten alive by commercial breaks.
Lyra slapped her, though, hit a nice German suplex. Clotheslines, kicks, an Enziguri, a flying crossbody, and a fisherman suplex gets a 2 count. Sky comes back with a double knee strike for 2, though. Pendulum swing, is that the right wording for the submission thing she got her in?
Looked great, that as well.
Yeah. Sky kicked out of a cradle, put her in a crossface. Lyra gets out of it, but Sky hit a springboard drop, kicking a nice side moonsault to take us to another break. Sky hits a double foot stomp for 2 when we come back. Misses the Meteora, though. Lyra Valkyria hits a tornado DDT. Another version of the Fisherman's Buster gets her a 2 count. Blocks a moonsault attempt, but Sky powerbombs her out of the corner. Doesn't go for a cover, though. Goes to the moonsault. Lyra dodges it. Sky tries to sunset flip him, Lyra, but she sits down. 1, 2, 3. The upset win. Lyra Valkyria is heading to Queen of the Ring.
Best match on Raw.
Highlight of the show for me, this.
Yeah, like this tournament. Well, this end of the tournament, these two in particular, it's sports-based presentation. They're form wrestlers having the best matches most weeks.
It's bad on Wednesdays, though.
It's great when done well. Anywhere, in fact. But I like Iyo's. Well, Iyo's been great. I would say, like, from just before WrestleMania, she's like found. I don't think she ever went bad, but it just felt like
Damage control sucked.
It did, didn't it? A little bit. And I just think it's been nice to just see her let loose again, to have these like more expressive singles matches. Lyra Valkyria, and it's still a bastardized phrase, but like building momentum was once a real thing before it was just ruined by commentators, and she is building momentum. Like she's
form. It's a sporting concept.
Yeah, like, and that's it. Like, it doesn't really matter that she's a bird person because you buy her as quite a good wrestler as well as being one.
Oh, she's going to be an excellent runner-up in Queen of the Ring. Absolutely. Fantastic runner-up. Queen Nia, though. Come on.
This was, for me, the absolute highlight of the show. This was really good, urgent, well-executed shootout wrestling, the likes of which you kind of see quite often, but I thought was really well executed. And again, this is a pick'em. This was, I suspected, because of the match graphic Photoshop snafu, that Valkyria was going to win. But at the same time, they protect Iyo. They like Iyo. She's consistently being pushed. And if you want to get someone over, unlike Chris Jericho, you use someone who doesn't lose all the time, has credibility. This was urgent, well-executed, unpredictable action with a bold finish that I suspect won't really harm Iyo Sky in the long run. She'll always be in the mix as long as she's healthy. This is what I want from TV wrestling. I know you can't do it every week, but a lot of weeks you can have matches where you don't really know who's going to win before the bell rings. I had loads of time for this, and I earnestly really enjoyed it as well.
It's wrestling to further stories as well, which WWE don't do enough of. Like, there's this like lingering damage CTRL Becky Lynch thing. Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria as allies. That's her dragged into all this now. She's got a victory over Iyo Sky. Regardless of how the tournament ends up, I think you're probably right. I think Nia Jax does win the way that
oh my God,
things have changed on SmackDown. I think she probably will. But
they're like a heel queen / king, don't they?
Yeah, and Gunther, assuming it is Gunther and Nia.
Did I summon you? Remember that Kurt Angle Booker T, was it?
They make different kings and queens as well. They're going to have different things with winning the crown and all that. So this is pretty good storytelling through wrestling, which for years WWE were like allergic to, really. So more of this as well.
Nice interview with her afterwards as well. Jackie Redmond asks if or how she feels about it all, and Lyra says she didn't see herself in this position 3 weeks ago when she got drafted, but now she believes she can get it done. She's one Nightwing away from becoming Queen of the Ring. Then we go backstage. R-Truth chatting with the New Catch Republic, and Truth is explaining to Pete Dunne how to do the, well, we call it the hokey cokey, but I think Americans call it the hokey pokey.
Hokey pokey, yeah.
Left leg in, left leg out, check it all about sort of thing.
Crisscross applesauce.
Miz shows up.
Say cross-legged.
Truth goes to talk to him, and Pete Dunne goes to swing for him, basically, and Tyler Bate's like, leave him, Pete, it's not worth it. And he's like, anyway, gotta go. Hopefully we'll fight for the titles one day. Bye. Miz is concerned, though. He thinks they're going to be at a disadvantage against the Judgment Day when they defend the titles later, especially if they've got Carlito with them. But don't worry. R-Truth says he spoke to Andre the Giant, who's going to be there to help them tonight. And Miz is like, I don't know.
I hate you both.
This one,
so
this
much,
is funny.
man.
No, Sige, I promise you, this one did nothing for me at home. I promise you, right? And then at some point this morning, he just like popped out of the desk. I mean, I quite like the Andre the Giant joke.
That was funny when he
I've
said,
just been waiting for him to do this on this podcast, see if he can get through it.
I don't have to tell you this truth. Andre passed away 30 years ago. And Truth says, passed away what? Truth says, don't worry, trust me, walks off. And Miz is like, Jesus, you know what, Andre, maybe we could do with your help. Truth comes back in and goes, who are you talking to?
You never used to be like this. You didn't.
Him. Again, I watched this. I was like, no, not for me this week, not this one. And then watching it through his eyes, and he's like, it was a pretty good one this week, wasn't it?
Who are you talking to?
Was passed away what?
Passed away
It
what?
really work.
No. And yet somehow, son of a bitch,
Still got them. It's
again.
been 2 months.
Yeah.
They've still got the belts.
It's your fault.
Maybe it was. Worth it, but I mean, God. At work, Ghost. Imagine when Gallus get a call. What if it's them?
I can't wait.
Gallus are coming to Raw. Is that going to be like my sort of...
wait. I cannot
the universe
wait.
punishing me? Like, Gallus will come up with Drew, and then their first act will be to, like, beat the Awesome Truth for the titles. And that's my punishment for, like, willing this WrestleMania thing into existence. 6 months of Gallus on top.
Right.
Can't wait. It's about it would need a comic victory now.
Raw needs, like, a wrecking ball. And
Needs,
here it comes in the form of
karma.
Gallus.
He's gunishment.
Fed fan. I was one, for Christ's sake.
Ilya Dragunov's interviewed by Kayla backstage. Says, look, there's no shame in losing to Jey Uso. Goes to intimate he's going to start talking about his history with Gunther, but Ricochet shows up and says, look, this isn't over between the two of us just because you beat me. And I was a bit like, And then Braun Breaker came in and killed Ricochet into some equipment boxes. It's class. And after a break, we come back, and he's getting tended to by medical personnel, etc. Postman Pierce is watching on, and Dragunov's like, I think to be fair, he got clipped in the arm, or like Ricochet shoved him out of the way to take the bullet or whatever. But he's like, basically, he was doing, wish I was Ricochet. Like,
You got a boo-boo on your elbow.
Class.
Were either of you surprised that Dragunov wanted this? I thought he was just looking upon it quite with some envy. He was just jealous. He was like, it should have been me. Well, there's only one place this has to go, isn't there?
Where's that?
WWE Speed.
Yes.
Put the Speed title on the fastest man in the company, and this is how you start that story off.
A marginalised Braun Breaker.
And just both.
On that stupid thing.
Wins the Speed belt on Twitter or wherever they post it, and then just rocks it with it on
Isn't
Raw.
Ricochet stupid enough to do his, sick of being a loser. I think I'm going to show everyone. Like, one, it's 2019, and two, you don't have a belt wrapped around your waist. Can you do anything else?
Can you imagine, like, Seth Rollins quote tweeting an entire Speed match and going, see Ospreay, we got one of our own.
Yeah.
Video package for Jey Uso versus Gunther. And then Gunther comes to us from an AEW show, apparently. An empty arena earlier on in the day. He says...
Such a dick, man.
He said
It used to be a podcast.
that he was wrong about Jey Uso, who's become the hottest thing on Raw. Thousands of fans are going to chant his name tonight. He's going to fill them with hope and delusion, though. And Gunther was in the business of taking hope away and dragging people down to reality. It wasn't about who was more exciting act on the way to the ring. It was about who's the best wrestler. And the fans will eventually embrace me when I beat Jey and go on to become king of the ring.
There is only really one character that can identify the massive, massive flaw with the Jey Uso push, and it's Gunther, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, he's the only one that we're all saying it. The match is never any good, but, like, what a megastar. So over. Gunther is a guy that, like, in every story has no interest in anybody's entrance or anything about, like, their rares and tears out the ace. It's all about what happens bell to bell. So he's the one character that you can get away with basically saying the quiet part loud with the Jey Uso, and I quite like that. Like, there was a tiny doubt for me going into this when we were previewing it that Jey Uso was going to win because of the possibility of, like, Tama Tonga winning.
I started getting really worried when Gunther was just dominating in the main event. I was like, uh-oh.
But it was never about Gunther and Jey. My doubt was rooted in the fact that, like, Tama Tonga was in the bracket on the other side of it, and I just...
Where?
Thank you. But no, this promo solidified it now. We're fine. It's Gunther.
It was all right. Pretty good. Let's move on.
The empty venue was nice as the contrast of when Jay's got all of his people. I thought
Yeah,
it was
that's
nice,
fine.
nice
Okay.
We go backstage, and Carlito's there, but he's also joined by Dominic Mysterio, JD McDonough, Finn Balor, and Damian Priest, and of course, collectively,
they're in the judgment day. It's probably day.
It's crap. Crap.
It's done. It's when, like, Road Dogg and X-Pac were still calling themselves DX, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's that. It's fine. It happens.
Finn and JD, though, say to Priest that they're going to bring the tag titles back to where they belong. And this is where the shocking reveal came that it was Carlito who attacked Cruz del Toro. Priest said the LWO are going to be pissed. Carlito says, I knew they were going to come after me, so I attacked first. Now I'm laying low until the heat dies down.
In a clubhouse,
Priest,
massive camera filmed and viewed by millions.
Priest was like, we're not the APA. But Dom said that Carlito came through.
Who's the APA? Are the casual fans meant to get... Oh, I'm sorry. I hate myself. It's the worst genre of tweet that. Just ignore everyone.
Carlito came through for Balor and McDonough last week. But Priest said he needs to keep doing that to be allowed to stick around. Basically, Dom and JD leave, and Balor says, look, I really wish it was me and you teaming tonight for fighting for the tag titles, but I get it. You're the champion. And they bump fists. Balor leaves, and Priest sort of looks after him, and Carlito goes, see the Knicks game or whatever? Priest is like, piss off.
I feel like we're entering... Roxanne Perez going to get called from the main roster. Just break them up. Get on with it. Damian Priest, Finn Balor match. I'm game for it, but get on with it.
It's one thing to have a big philosophical debate about Jey Uso and, you know, whether it's worth sitting through some pretty bland matches just to hear the reactions. Even if this was, like, scripted by David Mamet, just the most wonderful dialogue, that's really tense, just really great stuff. At some point... And it isn't. At some point, Carlito has to wrestle matches. What are we doing here? Carlito's in a storyline. We've got Tangaloa on SmackDown. Like, how are they winning? How are they in a boom period?
I can't wait for Balor versus Priest, to be honest. Really looking forward to that split. And
I just feel like I've been looking forward to that split for a long time now. Too long.
Only just got the belt, though, to be fair.
Yeah, I get why. I get why things are playing out. You know, you've got, like, Drew's
next in line, yeah?
Yeah, like, there's stuff to do. It's not that. It's just this particular thing is starting to feel like it's draining. I think this, like, it extends to the LWO story with the Judgment Day as well, but I just find this draining, fairly unimaginative stuff. Like, when Carlito turned on Ray, it wasn't that thrilling anyway, you know? So it's just like, to have this keep getting dragged out and being swallowed up by the Judgment Day split as well, it's just... I think they can do better. I think now, especially creatively, they can do better.
Shayna Baszler and Zoey Stark are in the back, and suddenly we see a returning Sonya Deville. Great to see her back on our screens. Baszler wasn't happy, though. Deville introduced herself to Stark and says she got a proposition for her, and Shayna was like, I don't want to hear any of that. Let's go. But now, they're soon to be the #1 contenders.
And there was a like background law that put them back together later on, wasn't there?
Yeah.
So they did it. Sonya Deville did eventually get a chat.
Then it was time for the tag titles to be on the line. Finn and JD versus R-Truth and The Miz. Dom's running a distraction to allow Judgment Day to take control as we go to a break. But Truth makes the hot tag, comes in and does John Cena's moveset, basically. McDonough breaks it up. So Truth chucks him out of the ring. Balor schoolboys him for 2. Sling Blade. McDonough comes in, but Truth and Miz do 5-knuckle shuffles. Carlito runs down. Miz knocks him off the apron and took out Balor. Truth hit McDonough with a flatliner, but Carlito put his foot on the rope to stop the count. Here comes Braun Strowman, though. He marches down to the ring, sends Carlito into the barricade, chases McDonough around ringside. He runs back in, and he gets caught with the AA by Truth. 1, 2, 3. The awesome Truth retain.
Good news, bad news. Bad news, this match sucked. Good news, they're doing quite an effective job of making you... It's like it's a proper childish thing of, I want to see the big guy who I like get his hands on that little pipsqueak. You know, it's kind of like that Warrior Heenan sort of thing. But, you know, I hate JD McDonough, so I want to see him pulverized, so that's good.
Next week as well, we get that.
Oh, excellent. Well, not excellent. Moderately good.
Oh, we can't preview it. Bank Holiday Monday.
Yeah. Sorry, everybody.
Anyway, bad news. What is the move in part of the, before the 5-knuckle shuffle?
What will they do? You can't see me.
Yeah, but like, how do they get
They swing and then pick up and then...
Yeah, like
What is that? It's crap, whatever.
It was like the John Cena limp throwing nothing.
Yeah,
like,
the
they
limp
just sort of
throwing
like wrestlers sort of move around him and float about while he drops them with a spinning nothing. Like
Mrs. version of that's like, have you just DDT'd yourself there and stood up? He's so crap.
You're watching Tamatonga rock bottom himself every week on SmackDown.
That's it's goated.
Bleak stuff, man, honestly.
Goated. Isn't it?
I love SmackDown. Becky Lynch congratulates Lyra Valkyria on her win. And then
walks away immediately.
And immediately leaves, yeah. And Liv Morgan comes
Actually,
in.
really can't be asked with her.
This was that wrestling staging as well, wasn't it? Like they're one storage crate away from each other. Anyway, see you later. There's no clear and present danger that I can see.
Sprints off in the opposite direction.
Wrestling sucks.
Liv
Man.
Morgan straight into
Yeah.
Wrestling is bad.
Where did she come from?
Liv Morgan sarcastically congratulated her and then hit her with the cheap shot akin to what Becky did to her last week.
That's a thing now. Like she does that annoying laugh, and I don't like this Liv Morgan character at all. Watch me.
Watch me.
Grandma.
Charmin Morgan.
The riot bus. What you know, like that, top of my head, 2 wrestlers get romantically involved. Let's say Liv Morgan and Ilya Dragunov, and they're laughing together. What might that sound like? Thanks, Sid. No, I know.
I'm sorry, son.
If you want Valhalla to be involved in it, I think I've got an app that can help us with that as well. So,
Can't do it.
I don't, man.
hang on. We can't. We got to deliver. We got to give the people what they want. So, Morgan, Ilya Dragunov, and then wait a second, Valhalla's here. 1 to 19, Hamlet.
11.
Did you want to?
12.
Worth every penny, that app.
Number 1. Oh, number 2.
After the dead man.
Number 2, because the dead man makes you your pants. Dumbass limeys.
Dumbass limeys. Lightning on my fingers. Make them go, whoa.
Bronson Reed approaches Sami Zayn, saying you shouldn't be worried about Gable's mind games. He's going to use his body as a weapon and earn his biggest payday yet on Saturday, basically. He leaves and Otis comes in.
Never believe a thing he says.
Zayn says, you kind of screwed me back there.
Body's a weapon.
Thought you were better than that, but Otis apologizes. He says, I'm sorry, I really am. Zayn believes him because he's a good guy. And he says he's been in his shoes before. The sooner he stops listening to Gable and starts listening to the fans, he'd be way better off. And the fans are still chanting for Otis, thankfully.
Triple H found a link. He found a link.
What's the link? I was completely zoned out.
Otis is basically Sami Zayn in the bloodline. Otis has now found himself in that position in
God.
Academy. I was like, yes, a link.
Yeah.
And now the turn is coming at King of the Ring, and he's going to make the right choice because Sami Zayn, who has lived through it, is not going to, because he's such a good guy, he forgives him here, he's not going to allow that to happen to Otis as well. And like,
That's not terrible.
He'll prevail
That's
as
not
a result
terrible.
of that, I would assume, on Saturday, and then that's how you get the
Not
crews.
terrible.
Yeah, it's nice, that. It's the good stuff.
Becky Lynch, Liv Morgan next.
This, however, was terrible.
Becky Lynch comes out and says, Liv Morgan's never beaten me, but this is a very different Liv Morgan, and that brings her immediately out. She says she didn't care about the women on the roster. She barely cares about Becky Lynch. She only cares about completing her revenge tour. And then she's like, well done, you finally got purpose after, 10 years or whatever.
It's gone on longer than Kiss.
Lynch can't relate to that, though, because she's had purpose since she was 15 years old. She first walked into a wrestling gym. She wants equality. She wants to change the game. She wants to break through glass ceilings and main event WrestleManias. Lynch's purposes remain the same. When she eventually leaves this place, little sort of tease, obviously contract expiring. Is she teasing something? I don't know. She wanted it to be better, though, than when she found it. Lynch said Liv Morgan's purpose was revenge, but wondered what she was going to do once she got it. Morgan was like, turn it in. Breaking barriers. You're the most selfish person in the company. You don't care about this place or the fans. The crowd are giving her the what treatment, and she says, you can't hear me because your ass is... Your head's so far up Becky Lynch's head.
Your ass is so far up Becky Lynch's head. Picture that, fans.
She's going to get revenge. She's going to stand on top of the division as the champion. Lynch says, look, the fans are doing that because they know you're lying. You can't fool them. And they know I'll always put my body on the line for them. I'm ready for a fight. Come on, put your money where your mouth is. Let's have a bare knuckle fight.
Bare knuckle flying.
Morgan T's getting in and says, nah, I'll wait till Saturday and become the new champ. Thanks. Wasn't great, this. Nah.
It's just really, like, annoying to listen to.
Yeah.
That's the long and short of it. Very annoying to listen to this.
You know, early season story in Friends where Joey's doing that play, and then it's revealed at the end that the play is terrible and Joey's got to get on a spaceship, but the director's like really dramatic and he thinks he's directing something on Broadway and he's like, you are bad actors, my talking props. I just felt like that watching this. I didn't believe a single word coming out of their mouth. Like, Liv Morgan's probably winning. If this had been a good story, you could quite easily arrive at that bit. No, she's a heel, so it's not cathartic, but it would feel right. You know, it would feel like the right time to strap her up. It makes all the sense in the world with the Rhea Ripley thing. Becky Lynch has felt like this one obstacle she can't conquer, and she will. So, like, it's got good fundamentals, but it's been really horribly performed week on week on week, and I remain doubtful that, like, they still need the belt to make Liv, and I don't think it will.
You ever heard of Gates of Hades? That's weird trend. Like at the end of the 2000s, early 2010s of like this. It's called dosing, where apparently if you listen to a certain type of audio mixed in a certain way and sound a certain way, that it would replicate some kind of high or whatever. So I listened to it, and it was like almost like a troll job of like this like really unsettling, disquieting noise for a long old time. And it would lull you into thinking, what's going on? And then it would just like the most squalling, ear-splitting bit of like feedback would just puncture your eardrums, and it was horrible. And I was left shaking after I listened to it every week with Liv.
I think about the Becky Lynch when I leave this place.
I get why she would be teasing that, but
wrestlers love nothing more than to tell you cryptically what might not be or may not be as it seems.
Yeah, she's re-signing.
Of course she is. If you're signing with WWE, radio silence. If you're not signing with WWE, you basically allude to going. The only person who's broke this pattern in recent memory was Cody.
Yeah.
Was like, oh, it's probably the last promo I'm going to cut. It's like, no, it isn't.
Come on, yeah.
You're the founding father, and wow.
There was a cryptic clue Becky Lynch dropped in the interview with Ariel Helwani. You had to like lean in. He was like, do you think you're going anywhere else? And she said, no.
What do you mean by that? Damian Priest is pissed off with Carlito and the rest of the Judgment Day, and he tells JD McDonald to go and request a match from Pierce against Strowman next week. He says, I don't even recognize you anymore. Priest leaves, and Balor's like, yeah, I'm annoyed too. Go and talk to Pierce, JD. Get JD versus Braun next week. It's all worth it.
My spirit is tired.
Xavier Woods, good news, is being medically cleared. Kofi's buzzing about this. He wants to go and talk to Pierce about getting a shot at the tag titles. He leaves, and then carrying across the Scarlet here.
Suck my cack.
From where, by the way?
I don't know,
This is one of those sitcom bathrooms where two siblings share a place where they brush their teeth for that set piece at the end of the episode. Have they got one, like, have they got a medical room that's got two entrances? Like, it's going, was he just in the shadows all along lurking?
In the shadows
in the cupboard.
of my life.
In a cupboard. Jamie Noble.
It's Karrion Kross again. Not getting over.
He says to Woods, as he did to Kofi, there's always time to turn things around. Cryptic.
Was it? He's so rubbish. He's relentlessly rubbish, Karrion Kross.
Tell you what else is cryptic, though.
The Raw Riddle.
What are you more scared of, Karrion Kross or the Raw Riddle?
Oh, the
Raw Riddle.
Yeah. Scared of the week, I don't get it instantly.
Real test of the old noggin this week. What has many keys, but can't open a single lock?
A piano.
Oh, I think we've got a button for this.
Bingo!
Hell.
It's a button that says no.
Join us next week for the Raw Riddle. The Raw Riddle.
This continues to be our best ever feature.
Yes.
Fatal 4-way to determine the next #1 contenders for the women's tag titles came next. It was
Oh boy.
Maxxine Dupri and Ivy Nile, Dakota Kai and Kairi Sane, Shayna Baszler and Zoey Stark, and straight from the club, Katana Chance and Kayden Carter.
Do you see what I mean about Harley Cameron as the Omega Okada of wrestlers that shouldn't be on TV wrestling? Because Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
She's not
That's way better.
I'm ready for week 3.
Yeah.
The Harley Cameron push after watching this. My God.
Everything broke down very quickly early on, and Carter and Chance hit a cake stand onto everyone on the outside. Yeah. We come back. Maxxine Dupri cleans house. Carter gives her a downward spiral. There's an after party, but Carter isn't legal, so it covers a bit delay. He gets broken up. There's a big Tower of Doom spot. Ivy Nile did a big strength thing in there as well.
Big strength thing.
Chance gives Stark a super Hurricane Rana onto her. Dupri hits the reverse worm on Dakota Kai.
Looked terrible.
Puts her in an ankle lock. Great behind the leg, but Kairi Sane hits an insane elbow. Baszler puts Sane in the Kirifuda clutch. Stark super kicked Dupri. Stark hoyed Dupri in the air. Baszler hit her with a knee. 1, 2, 3. Baszler and Stark are the new #1 contenders. And they were, chatting with Thingy later.
Piss poor. And we saw my least favorite move in wrestling again, other than anything I see on NXT. What is the move where it's like Rude Awakening set up and then Katana Chance has to do the 450 on someone who's standing up?
Yeah, I can't
it doesn't work. Why? How did that make it past? They probably fine tune that in the performance center. Hey, Mr. Bloom, come check this out. And Albert is watching. He's like, great. Didn't look like it. Wouldn't hurt a fly. The bump's incredibly awkward. There's no connection there. A+. This performance center needs to be demolished. You know what? Probably unfair for me to judge this match, because if you look at the delay between a move happening and one of them bumping for it, it's probably still ongoing. I'm still waiting for that bump before the finish. My God, it was like 3 seconds later at various points. Do a move. Bump. Utterly
Yeah. An over-rehearsed mess. Because
that's an oxymoron. Shouldn't be.
Yeah. It was so in their heads about what was next and what was next that it killed the thing that they were currently doing. The Shayna Zoey Stark finisher thing, it's a class idea, but that alley-oop requires actual momentum behind it. You can't just get them up there and then ready? You good? Let's go. It's just, again, totally cooperative.
More fluid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
this match stunk. It was rubbish.
Real bad.
Like not necessarily lots of wrestlers that shouldn't be on television, but this must be really hard to construct anyway.
There
Like
are people who've at the very stagnated, aren't good enough, or have stagnated, or are solid enough, but this match is probably too complicated for them. Or they're in there with wrestlers who don't have a clue what they're doing.
And it's like a lazy booking practice to get there as well. I guess we could do some challenges. I'll just hoy them all out there. Give them a minute each.
What are your thoughts on it, Wilborn?
That's fine. Kayla Braxton interviews Ludwig Kaiser. And wonders if Gunther's overlooking Jey Uso.
He's his favourite wrestler now because he can do that voice. I wish it was that easy for me. How about, all right, okay.
We do have an AEW wrestler who we like the name of.
The Beast Mortars. What if I was to go, do your thing again?
Ludwig. Because not my thing, it's Samantha Owens.
Yeah.
Ludwig Kaiser.
Okay, what about Kyle Fletcher?
Yeah.
Can you do that voice? Maybe you can enjoy him then?
I like Kyle Fletcher.
I'll put him in a tag team with Nathan Fraser. You want to hear it like that?
Yeah.
Watch him now.
I like Kyle Fletcher.
Okay. I'll get you.
Yeah.
I'll get you the wrestler that you don't care about. And I'll do it in a funny voice, and then you'll start to like him. Like a child.
She wonders if Gunther's
I
overlooking.
want this to carry on. I want to see if...
I want to try and get him. If I can just start doing a name in a funny voice, it's like, hey, that guy. Hey. The as yet unknown wrestler who Sidge is going to make up a funny voice for.
Hey. You all right?
Well, you know the one, don't you?
You don't.
There's a certain dungeon graduate.
That's the rule-proving exception. I'm very much like Pac in that regard. I feel nothing.
You hear that on Collision?
Yeah.
It's good. I feel nothing.
What did
Yeah,
you say?
me too, pal.
I was going to say Lexi now. Leave me alone.
He was alone, man. I feel out.
It's the way I felt that.
Kaiser, anyway, said Gunther's repeatedly proven he's superior to everyone, and he hopes that Jey takes the loss better than Sheamus, the guy who used to love to fight. Now he's become a keyboard warrior. He can stay home and protect his legacy or come back and be put down by Kaiser. They've been teasing this for a few weeks, obviously.
You know the one that could do with being next week, couldn't it? Or as soon as possible.
What, Ludwig and Shame?
I want to watch it, but there's so little to it that the match is the actual exciting bit.
But Drew McIntyre appears and says, funny that Postman Pierce didn't schedule one of his biggest stars tonight. Priest actually didn't get one over on me last week because I got the title match. I got what I wanted. I'm playing chess. Priest is just playing with his guy liner. Focus on the title, not all that crap you've got going on. I'll be champion soon anyway.
Poor line. And this was a bad week for the Punk Drew build and the Drew character. Doesn't matter. They'll do something red hot next week. Yeah. I'm not one of these idiots who will say, they're ruining Drew McIntyre, like desperate to see it fail. I mean, I'm not desperate to see it fail, but for the right reasons. Why say there's no time for me on this show? You might as well have just not had him on it.
Yeah.
Bad implication. That line, the whole thing was weird. It's not going to matter.
Yeah,
I shouldn't talk.
Punk only makes half the towns, but they don't really draw attention to it. He's just there or he's not, isn't he?
Hang on, what did he say?
Well, yeah,
No, what did he just say?
I know exactly what I said. Punk only makes half the towns. Yeah. Well, he was sick of making all the effort in AEW, wasn't he?
That's curious because he said
he's earned his legacy
that
contract.
He actually makes his towns, which is a comment directed at whoever annoyed him that day. He should have been reined in.
A lot of guys.
An iron fist. Tony Khan. Everything you do is great.
Was it the Collision comeback where he was like doing in a business full of counterfeit books and all that, and he gets backstage and he's
What a
legend.
Honestly, I knew it at the time. I was like, well, this is good. Obviously, the action's good. It's a bit different to Dynamite. I felt it in my bones, and I'm a mystical man. I'm prescient. I'm not just prescient.
I think we found our new member of the YN6.
I'm a mystical man. I'm a mystical man. I feel things and I sense things. Michael Mystic.
We need to get you a
Mystic
QR code for your shirt.
I just knew it was going to go tits up, and I just knew at the time everyone was overrating that 6 week period of Collision. I knew it. I felt it. Remember that time when CM Punk came out as the biggest dickhead in the world on Dynamite? I was like, there's something going on.
Yeah.
He's more unlikable than ever.
The apology must be louder as the disrespect.
And the
week
Snow
and
Angels. I was like, something's going on here. And what happened? The death of the company.
I love watching those clips back now. The doom and like when you know it's coming, it's like, oh, this is really awkward and tense. Way more than it felt at the time. Yeah. Even the Moxley stuff. Even like, because people love playing that clip, don't they? That like, what is it? Like fragile body, weak mind, whatever that sort of thing.
Fragile body, spirit, ego, mind, whatever.
Yeah, like
fragile mind, fragile body, fragile ego.
People sharing like, yeah, you tell him, John. Like, yeah, and Punk beat him in the fake match, asshole. Right there.
But you.
Any good? I don't know if I've ever watched that back. The All Out main event. I'm picturing like Punk's white tights made pink with blood, and
it was really good.
Yeah, it was I watched it live and enjoyed it, but I've never watched it back.
All Out, everyone who took a bump in that card, doesn't matter. One of probably my favorite match of 2022 that wasn't Moxley Yuta was on All Out. That Elite versus Page, Silver, and Reynolds. It was the tightest trios match of all time.
Swerve and Our Glory acclaimed.
Yeah.
All Out.
That was the one that got all the headlines and the praise. That trios title final?
Yeah. Because they won the belts
and then had to get that is the tightest, like most exhilarating, not in terms of like the most spectacular moves, but in terms of drama, execution, like Silver doing the wheelbarrow one winged angel.
Oh, it was the Page Omega thing with the like he cost him, didn't he, in the end? And that was good stuff.
And Omega taking the shirt off, the tan on, the sequins on his gear, his interactions with Hangman Page in that match
when they both tagged in, and
ungodly.
We're not going to tease it. We're going to go right here, right now.
And Phil watched that and was like, "Oh, it's better than what I can do, so I'll have to have a fit instead." Selfish.
But it was a good match, man.
No one remembers it.
Yeah.
Otis approached.
Hell of a promo after the show, though.
Remember Kenny retreating up the ramp? It was all in the air. When it was FTR and Wardlow versus Motor City Machine Guns and who else? Or FTR, maybe. Who teamed with them?
Oh, don't tell us. It was
Was it FTR and Wardlow?
Yep. Versus
FTR got loads of mates, haven't they? Versus Motor City Machine Guns and...
It was more like regular heel, wasn't it? It wasn't like another special guest. It was like
Jay Lethal.
Correct.
Well done.
And I remember because Kenny was retreating up the ramp. I was like, follow that, mother. Follow that, you can't. And guess what they didn't?
Because 80% of you... What is it? 80% of you stink or 70%?
80% of you I wouldn't hire you. And is he wrong?
He's class, man. He's not...
Is he wrong?
He's wrong about now. And yet
I got hired. First try.
And you still think about that South Park video where he's running out the locker room with the dog. Got him.
I'm telling you now, man, Kenny Omega should have been the president all along.
What, the United States of America?
He's Canadian, so I don't know how that would work.
Be good, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, be great.
Otis approaches Gable, who is speaking to the Creed brothers.
Oh my God.
Yes, please.
Can't wait for like 6 weeks' time. Sidge, do you think Chad Gable and the Creed brothers are going to form a stable on tonight's Raw?
Can't wait.
Well, I'd die inside.
Was it he said it like, do you think about that thing I said? So the wheels are in motion now, aren't they?
Yes. Otis tells Master Gable that he's apologised to Sami Zayn. Gable's like, ooh, clever. Mind games. Trick him. Get him on side sort of thing. And but he's like, gets really too close to Otis and says, I want your assurance you're going to help me win, by the way. And Otis says, yeah. He's like, I want to hear the words. And Otis sheepishly says, no matter what. I love it.
He's turning on him on Saturday, isn't he? It's going to be good. He's going to do the right thing.
You think?
And Chad would know that if he'd watched the segment that was broadcast earlier on.
It's a Levesque program. It could go on for 8 more months. Look at Damian Priest, man.
We can but dream.
Look at Damian Priest.
Yeah. That's something you want to go on for like 8 months to a year. Like, Wilborn was very prescient when he said Cody winning it, losing at WrestleMania 39 was all about fight, wasn't he? So.
Yeah. Proven right yet again. That's me. I'm tired of being right all the bloody time. Jey Uso.
What would you have done? And Cody getting told on Rumble Day. It's rock.
Hey, you won in the Royal Rumble and you're not going to wrestle.
It's rock.
What?
Yeah.
I love how like every...
I'd have been fine with it because it's rock.
Every bit of information that's getting drip fed out, so now people are showing the clip again where like Cody's got there. You, Roman, and it's like, it can't be a shoot. There was a camera on Roman's
I know,
like
what's going on?
Like one of sort of like the box as well. Well, who got there just in time? Was he in the set one? He's like, quick, over there.
I saw a tweet where someone said, that's why Roman looks so confused. No, he looks angry that bloody Cody's won the Rumble again. He's not like, I'm really well lit in this nice box with Paul Heyman going, there you go, Master, there's your title, hold it up and show you the champion.
Rock and like Brian Gewirtz think they've got like, there's like everyone's on strings and marionettes, but like all the strings have been cut. It's just like on the floor, nothing makes sense anymore.
What was it you said that Cody was going to have to say? That's why. Go get him, Rocky.
Go get him, Rock. That's what Gewirtz said.
Yeah, that was it.
He thinks everybody would have loved it.
Kick his ass, Rock. Kick his ass.
What did he use as a comparison? Frost Nixon.
Yeah.
Did he?
Suck my cock. Kick his ass.
So Jey Uso talks about people getting yeet down. Usual sort of promo here. But he says he almost beat Gunther the last time they wrestled. He's going to finish the job tonight. Gunther's going to catch a yeet down. Jay's going to catch a crown. And then he does on the door. That opens up. I just mentioned this to you. I like the fact that it was cool. It was a cool shot again of Jay walking through from there. The door opens and he walks through to go. I did an amazing entrance. Yeet, 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 all that. But obviously, to facilitate that, someone has to be on the other side of the, what's it called? Like garage door or whatever it is.
Car hole.
Yeah. So he goes, and it comes up, and he's like, let's go. Follow me, cameraman. You just see in the background some bloke who's clear his job is just to wait by the button. Just stood there like that. Well, he's going to be gone in a second, so I love that. But yeah, great entrance again.
Blair Witch, that, didn't it?
Ah, it's scary.
Yeah.
Blair Witch and Hereditary. Yes. I think the two films I've most been scared by in my life.
Never. Oof, no, thank you.
Oh, you're a bit of a wimp when it comes to horror, aren't you?
Yeah, not for me, thank you.
They should do the bit with the door where Jimmy comes back and he's knocking for ages and kind of getting in. Just wants to get involved.
Yeah. More of a.
Was good.
Yeah.
More of a
Wallace and Gromit fan myself.
Never. I just don't think it's for me. Wallace and Gromit. I understand it's very impressive.
I'm right in the middle of you two on this, by the way.
I can understand why people really like it. It's got why people would have a charm to it. It's just never. I just never watched it. At most, I'll watch it and go. Even then, it just does nothing for my soul.
The contraptions, it's always like, and with this, 12 moves, with these 12 simple steps, I can get jam on my toes. So, well, Wallace.
It's going to blow your mind. You
That's why
ugly
Gromit
prick.
like, bloody idiot.
That's why Gromit's there, the dog. Stuck with thumbs.
Oh, it's so good. I have to watch that again. Eric's going to get a lesson tonight. Right, okay, main event time.
What I like about Wallace and Gromit was it used to be one of the things that you would watch, you know, when a telly would get wheeled in at school around Christmas or something like that.
Yeah.
Wallace and Gromit were often chosen for that because it was safe. And I've got nice memories of that. Telly at school, and I actually would have chosen to watch them myself. That's the reality.
We just used to watch films.
Yeah, films as well, but they were like sort of an hour maybe, Wallace and Gromit, weren't they? Like they weren't sort of...
Think how much time that's taken. Poor Hardman, eh?
Just a tiny amount.
Got the Jey Uso main event. Who's heading to the King of the Ring? Jey does his usual strikes, and the crowd chant yeet.
That's great.
Does a big dive, but Gunther sends him into the ring post and the steel steps and starts targeting the arm, sending that into the post and the barricade and what have you. Go to a break, come back. Jey tries fighting back, but Gunther just
Even the
uppercuts
recap
his arm.
of this is tedious.
Gunther went up top. Jey goes after him, but Gunther applies a Kimura. And they stand on the top rope.
Man.
Super Samoan drop! Jey goes out of the flying crossbody for two. Gunther hits some chops. Jey fights back. Another chop from Gunther knocks him down.
So objectionable.
Jey hits an Itaguri.
Super Samoan drop! It's what they've always called it.
Gunther blocked a super kick. Hit another chop, but Jey hits him with a super kick, gets a 2 count. Gunther's down in the corner getting stomped on, but he shoots out of it with a drop kick, hit a powerbomb for 2. Gets him in an arm lock, but Jey fights out of it. Gunther chopped him in the back, but Jey applies a cradle and gets 2. Gunther just kicks his arm, hits a German suplex. Big splash off the top. That's another near fall. Big clothesline lariat sort of thing. Gets another 2. More chops in the corner. So much so the referee, I think he's had enough there, Gunther. He starts arguing with him. And that allows Jey to spear Gunther, but in the process, the referee takes a bump. So Jey hits an Uso splash and gets the cover, but the referee recovers and has to sort of slow count it, or is slow getting to the count, I should say. And that allows Gunther to kick out. Jey sits up like a bloody hell, and Gunther just starts battering him, gets his arm, submission hold, and Jey passes out, basically. Gunther advances to the King of the Ring final.
Stone Cold Jey Uso, is it?
I thought this was fine, but that's
crap.
that's like 6 stars for Jey Uso. Like, I like the idea.
I'm 2 stars for Gunther.
I like the idea of this. Like, this is so. If you imagine if Gunther was fighting the Ultimate Warrior, he would want to knacker him out and like face wash the face paint off him, like with chops or whatever, just because he resents that. So working the arm was really smart because it's like, you do this and you think that's enough and I resent you and I hate you for that. So if I can, I'm going to rip one of your arms off so you can't do that anymore. So I'm going to take that away from you. But yeah, he looked like a bushwhacker, not an Uso. So that wouldn't work. So like, you know, it's so it's just like a nice, simple premise because overcomplicated, as I think they tried earlier this year.
Didn't like that. I'll get you back.
and you will as well. It's like he's like the North in Game of Thrones. He remembers. Like
I missed it. Sorry.
Nice, mugged us off. So.
I never get him, and I got him. It's weird. Like I feel strange about it too. He sort of. It was such a simple premise. Better that than them attempting to have like a proper like Blood and Thunder Gunther Intercontinental title match, which I didn't rate earlier in the year. So I thought this was better for that, but there wasn't much to it.
It was crap, man. I'm sick of this shit. It was crap. Like, the thing about the yeet thing happening automatically with everything that Jey Uso does, if you're a child, very good. Very good. Good for you. Right? But the thing with Jey Uso is that like, he doesn't have to do anything anymore. There was a time when he sold his arm, and I was like, good for you. Good for you. You're doing an all right job of convincing me that you're in pain. And then just nothing, really. Like, we were talking about Ospreay on the Collision review, where sometimes he's a bit too histrionic when he's like, he headbutts the top turnbuckle to try and get himself fired up.
Please tell me you got that on there. Yeah, brilliant.
Like, because he headbutts it, don't he? Whoa! Come on! So he does. So I'll get him.
Shall I get him?
I'm out. Because he's trying to G up the crowd.
Yeah.
And like, I think it's too histrionic with it at times, personally. Like, because Jey Uso, they're going to chant yeet at him anyway. He doesn't have to do anything, so he doesn't do anything. And like, in the body of a match, it's like, well, I'm just going to do my moves. It's my turn to do my moves. There's just nothing really to just get absorbed by when I'm watching it. Do you know what pissed me off about this as well? Right? Is that, well, two things. The Austin finish. It's like, right, okay, I get it if you're going to do any finish. It's like it feels like the Rolodex. Like the Austin finish is the most earned thing at WrestleMania 13, obviously. Yeah. Now it's on the Rolodex of, right, protect. We need to protect the wrestler. Right, Austin finish, or flailing about in the ankle lock for, like, flailing about in the ankle lock for a minute and then tapping it. Like, there's a Rolodex now. It very rarely feels earned. That didn't feel earned. You know what else? Right. If you say something like this, obviously we're in the haven of the podcast, right? Mm-hmm. If you said something like this on Twitter, like, I don't think anyone dislikes Gunther. With good reason. I think he's one of the best wrestlers in the world, right? Genuinely. There are people who love him because they love WWE and they love Gunther as they should. Gunther's that guy who transcends the WWE trappings, even the people who don't like the production and all the rest of it. Just love Gunther because he's as close to objectively good as it gets in a subjective medium.
I fear we may have to come together to watch another WWE match, friends.
Yes, that kind of thing. That kind of thing. There's very little... There's at the same time, there's a lot of critical thought about Gunther, and sometimes none. I thought he had a bit of a tail end towards last year. Good, not great. Dare I say, I think that trend is kind of continuing a little bit. Like, he's not Danielson level as a TV wrestler, for me anyway, right? And the big splash off the rope, for me, is starting to feel a bit cheap. He used to really be careful about that. That was his... He was so good at, like, the levels of, well, I'll take this risk, but I'm so great that it will scan as a risk, and it'll scan as a big shock that I'm taking to the skies, when the whole thing is, the mat is sacred. I'll do everything on the mat. It's like, it feels like he's betraying his own code by going, right, I'll do something flashy because I have to get the job done, and that puts the opponent over. It feels to me, dare I say, the Gunther thing's getting a little bit formulaic. When he went to the top rope, it was a little bit like, it feels like you've got your own Rolodex now of, right, this is what I can do to protect this opponent in defeat. And to be fair, That's been the guy's job for longer than most of the wrestlers. I'm the guy who wins all the time, the longest reigning guy who mainly wrestles on TV. So maybe it's harsh to judge him for feeling a little bit familiar, but that near fall felt a bit cheap for me.
I think there's definitely, I don't disagree with that, I think there's sort of an assumed perfection of a Gunther run, because that's the standard we're talking about. When it's at its best, it's near perfect. And that gets, people assume that before the bell rings.
So there's no such thing as a bad Gunther match.
No.
This wasn't bad.
But I think as a result, some are more elevated than others. As I say, the last one got praise, and I preferred this match. This match made more sense to me than the first Jey Uso Gunther match, truthfully. This was this again felt like sport, really. Jey Uso kind of has to park the bus in football terms and see if he can get it done, and he can. And this better team will ultimately find a way and break him down. And
I love watching that football, mate.
I do. It's strategy, isn't it? It's tactics. And what?
Park the...
Well, I have to watch my team do it every week when we're in the Premier League. So it's
You're used to it now.
You get used to it, yeah. So Jey Uso's not on Gunther's level, and I thought this was quite effective at telling
I'm
that
used to getting
story.
out of bed, but I don't like doing that either.
I mean, I'm here. I love it every day. I spring out of bed.
Oh, no. I obviously love here.
Yeah.
The actual physical act of getting out of bed, even though I wake up early, and I'm just an early riser, the getting out is I hate this.
The first thing you do is make a dad noise. It's oh. Something hurts.
Not me.
No?
Kip up. Straight up.
It's gonna taste great. It's gonna taste great.
And not even from the spring of the mattress.
Nah.
From sleeping on the floor. You roll on the floor and kip up off the floor. Yes, another day being Adam Wilborn.
Let's go. Right, well, let us know your thoughts on everything we discussed on Raw, either in the comment section below or on X at WhatCulture WWE. What you can follow all three of us. You can follow Michael Hamflett at
Michael Hamflett.
Follow Michael Sidgwick at
M. Sidgwick.
Follow me at Adam Wilborn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. Follow our brilliant producer at It's Adam Nicholas. And make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcasts from, for daily wrestling podcasts. The NXT preview coming your way later on today. But for now, this has been the Raw review. My thanks to Hamflett Sidgwick. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.